Malaysia to hold special ASEAN foreign ministers meeting soon. Cambodia, Thailand agreed to stop border clashes. Good afternoon and Salam Malaysia Madani. This is World Today. I'm Daryl Baptist. Malaysia would convene a special meeting of ASEAN foreign ministers in the near future to assess the situation and support measures to diffuse tensions in the region. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said that as ASEAN chairman, the meeting is also to strengthen ASEAN's collective role in maintaining regional peace. Datuk Seri Anwar said this in a Facebook post after contacting his counterpart, Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, to discuss current developments in the region as well as joint efforts to ensure continued peace and stability. The Prime Minister also expressed Malaysia's commitment to strengthen bilateral cooperation with Vietnam in addressing the issue of illegal, unreported and unregulated or IUU fishing. The cooperation includes coordinating in enforcement, information sharing and preventive measures. Datuk Seri Anwar expressed confidence that through continued dialogue and existing mechanisms, the issue can be resolved with prudence, calm and mutual respect. In a related matter, Vietnam news agency VNA reported Pham Minh Chinh welcomed his call with Datuk Seri Anwar following their meeting at the Group of 20 or G20 summit last month. The Vietnamese leader praised their regular phone calls that have fostered timely coordination and information sharing on issues of common concern, reflecting the growing political trust between the two countries. VNA also reported that they agreed to soon formally adopt the 2026-2030 action plan for implementing the partnership to set specific directions for each pillar and raise bilateral trade to $20 billion in a more balanced manner. Mentioning regional and international issues of mutual concern, the two sides expressed deep concern over the recent tensions between Cambodia and Thailand. In the next development, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim held discussions with United States President Donald J. Trump regarding the Cambodia-Thailand conflict. In a Facebook post, Datuk Seri Anwar said the matter was discussed during a phone call from President Trump, who also raised bilateral relations as well as global issues of mutual interest. Datuk Seri Anwar explained Malaysia's role in urging both countries to remain calm and return to the negotiating table through dialogue as well as bilateral and ASEAN mechanisms. On the same matter, US President Donald Trump said that Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to cease all shooting effective Friday, and thanking Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim for his assistance. President Trump wrote on Truth Social that both countries are ready for peace and continued trade with the United States. Trump said that Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to go back to the original peace accord he brokered earlier this year with the help of Malaysian Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. The Thailand-Cambodia border conflict reignited again on Sunday afternoon. Both sides accused each other of initiating the attack, confirmed casualties. Separately, Thailand's Defence Ministry spokesman Surasant Kongsiri said on Thursday that 9 Thai soldiers had been killed, more than 120 people injured, and nearly 200,000 Thai civilians displaced by the latest fighting. Cambodia's Interior Ministry reported on Friday afternoon that the number of evacuees from areas near the border had climbed to more than 300,000. In relation to the Thailand-Cambodia conflict, Thai Acting Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul said he told US President Donald Trump on a phone call that Thailand was not the aggressor in its conflict with Cambodia and was acting to protect its sovereignty and citizens.
ฝ่ายไทยเกิดการสูญเสียอวัยวะชีวิตทรัพย์สินแบบนี้ประเทศไทยก็มีความจำเป็นที่จะต้องตอบโต้นะครับในสิ่งที่เราต้องป้องกันอธิปไตยของเราป้องกันดินแดนของเราป้องกันทรัพย์สินของคนไทยและสุดท้ายก็คือที่เราจะต้องป้องกันต้องดำเนินการอย่างสูงสุดก็คือต้องป้องกันชีวิตของประชาชน
Anutin said Trump told him he wanted peace and for Thailand to halt operations and return to a previously agreed ceasefire. Thailand and Cambodia have been exchanging rockets and artillery at multiple locations along their disputed 817-kilometer frontier in some of the most intense clashes since a 5-day battle in July, which Trump stopped with calls to both leaders to halt their worst conflict in recent history. Continuing Cambodia-Thailand tensions, Cambodia said on Saturday that Thailand continued dropping bombs on its territory hours after US President Donald Trump said the neighbors had agreed to stop fighting. Each side had blamed the other for reigniting the conflict. The Cambodian Defense Ministry stated in a post on X that the Thai military deployed 2 F-16 fighter jets to release 7 bombs on several targets. It came after the US president said on Friday that Thailand and Cambodia had agreed to halt fighting along their disputed border, which has killed at least 20 people this week. Up next, Hong Kong to conclude fire probe within 9 months. Hello again, you're watching World Today. Hong Kong will seek to wrap up an independent investigation into a fire that killed at least 160 people in the Asia Financial Centre within 9 months, according to the city's leader on Friday. John Lee spoke more than 2 weeks after the blaze ripped through 7 high-rise residential towers and left the city searching for answers about the cause of the deadly tragedy, which also displaced thousands of residents. The government has launched an independent committee to investigate the fire that erupted in the Tai Po district, close to the border with mainland China, and named Judge David Locke, who chairs the Electoral Affairs Commission, to lead the body. Briefing reporters, Lee added the independent committee will need to investigate whether there is a systematic problem and determine if there is bidding, or rather bid rigging, in the sector when it comes to awarding contracts.
Independent committee will have to look at another very important issue, which is regarding large-scale building maintenance and renovation works, examine whether there are systemic problems such as undue connected interests, conflicts of roles, or improper collusion across all stages of the works, and whether bid rigging, corruption, or irregularities are involved in the tendering process of these works.
Authorities have said substandard building materials used in renovating the high-rise housing estate were responsible for fueling the fire. Lee said the government would work with the city's legislature to drive institutional reform in the aftermath of the fire, as there have been some public calls and petitions seeking greater government accountability and improved oversight over the construction sector. Eager to soothe the public's dismay, authorities have launched criminal and corruption investigations into the blaze. We now move to West Asia, where hundreds of thousands of displaced Gazans are facing flooding off their tents and shelters as heavy rains hit the enclave, while materials for shelters and sandbags are not being allowed in. Torrential rain swept across the Gaza Strip on Thursday, flooding tents, sheltering families displaced by 2 years of war, and leading to the death of a baby girl due to exposure. Gaza's civil defense members searched for survivors on Friday at the site of a collapsed house in Beit Lahia that was brought down by heavy rain. Neighbors described waking up to a sound like an explosion, only to find the house in rubble due to the intense weather. Rescue teams were still working to pull people from under the rubble, but lack of equipment was slowing down the operation. Nearly 795,000 displaced people are at heightened risk of potentially dangerous flooding in low-lying, rubble-filled areas where families are living in unsafe shelters. Insufficient drainage and waste management also heighten the risk of disease outbreak. Materials to help reinforce shelters, such as timber and plywood, as well as sandbags and water pumps to help with flooding, have been delayed from entering Gaza due to access restrictions. The expansion of Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank is at its highest level since at least 2017, when the United Nations began tracking such data. According to a report by the UN chief on Friday in 2025, plans for over 47,000 housing units were advanced, approved, or tendered, compared with some 26,170 in 2024. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres condemned the relentless expansion, saying it continues to fuel tensions, impeding access by Palestinians to their land and threaten the viability of a fully independent, democratic, contiguous and sovereign Palestinian state. He also noted on average of 12,815 housing units were added annually between 2017 and 2022. There are some 500,000 Israeli settlers living in the West Bank, along with about 3 million Palestinian residents. Guterres also condemned the continued escalation of violence and tensions in the occupied West Bank. He pointed out operations by the Israeli Defense Forces in the northern West Bank that have killed a high number of people, displaced residents, and destroyed homes and other infrastructure. Spanish authorities have detected 4 outbreaks of bird flu in wild birds in the central Madrid region, where forestry agents collected hundreds of dead storks over the past several weeks, including more than 100 in the past 24 hours alone. According to the European Food Safety Authority, the outbreaks are part of an unprecedented surge in bird flu cases across Europe this season, with thousands of wild bird cases reported in 29 countries. Madrid's regional government said in a statement that no commercial poultry farms have been affected so far, and there was no serious risk to humans. The outbreaks did not appear to pose an environmental threat for now. The storks, migratory birds arriving from northern Europe, are thought to be carrying the virus. Highly pathogenic avian influenza has led to the culling of hundreds of millions of farmed birds globally in recent years, disrupting food supplies and increasing prices. Wall Street's major indexes closed lower on Friday, and investors left technology for other sectors as Broadcom and Oracle fueled concerns about an AI bubble, and rising U.S. Treasury yields added pressure after some policymakers spoke out against easing monetary policy. Treasury yields rose after a group of Federal Reserve officials who voted against the central bank's interest rate cut this week voiced worries that inflation remains too high to warrant lower borrowing costs. Broadcom shares tumbled after the chipmaker warned of slimmer future margins, causing renewed concerns about the profitability of surging AI investments. This was after a nearly 11% sell-off in Oracle on Thursday, following the cloud software company's weak financial forecast. Oracle shares added to losses on Friday, even after it denied a Bloomberg report that its data centers for ChatGPT maker OpenAI were being delayed.
The market, a few big stocks can bring the whole thing down, but the rotation under the surface has been pretty, I think, resilient. You know, we've seen a lot of strength from other sectors, and ultimately, I'm honestly pretty excited about this because I think that this sort of skepticism and hole poking in the AI trade is not something that happens in bubbles, in asset bubbles. There's a skepticism that I think is healthy, and a rotation that is healthy as well.
Coming up, 2025 SEA Games, Malaysia bags 7 gold medals on day 3.
Sukan SEA Thailand 2025. Semangatnya sudah terasa. Nantikannya hanya di RTM. Penyiar rasmi.
3 sports disciplines, artistic gymnastics, karate and athletics, became the catalysts for the excellence of the Malaysian contingent on the 3rd day of the 2025 SEA Games, successfully harvesting 7 gold medals, thus ensuring Malaysia remain in the top 5 of the overall medal tally. Experienced national snooker player Thor Chuan Leong completed Malaysia's glorious day, delivering the 7th gold medal, which was also the 10th gold medal overall for the Malaysian contingent. 2 gold medals were secured by the artistic gymnastics camp, namely from Muhammad Sharul Aimi Kamaru Hisham in the men's vault event with 13.833 points. Yap Kang Siang's debut was equally impressive, captivating the judges in the women's balance beam event to win gold with 13.233 points, adding to her medal collection after securing bronze in the vault event the day before. Arriving as the defending champion, national karate exponent C. Shamalarani fulfilled her gold ambition after dominating the women's Kumite under 50 kg event. K. Thevandran's debut appearance was also fruitful when he dominated the men's Kumite under 55 kg with a 4-love victory over Chu Van Duc from Vietnam. Track and field events witnessed a surprise crafted by Nani Shahira Mariata when she won gold in the women's shot put with her second throw of 16.36 meters, erasing her own national record of 15.39 meters. Women's hammer throw champion Grace Wong Shu Mei displayed extraordinary dominance by breaking the game's record 4 times in a single day at the final with a best throw of 65.41 meters, renewing both the games and national records. On to under-23 football. The national team advanced to the semi-final of the 2025 Southeast Asian or SEA Games football competition as the best group runners-up. This was following Indonesia's failure to secure the runner-up spot in the group despite winning against Myanmar in the Group C match last night. The Malaysians edged Indonesia with a better goal advantage, with a total of 4 goals compared to Indonesia's 3 goals after 2 matches. They will meet hosts Thailand, who finished as Group A champions, at Rajamangala's stadium on Monday. The other semi-final will be between Group B champions Vietnam and Group C champions the Philippines. This development is progress from their performance in the last SEA Games in 2023, where they crashed out in the group stage. Malaysia's last medal was a silver in the 2017 Games in Kuala Lumpur. Mohamed Salah has been included in Liverpool's squad for their Premier League match at home to Brighton today, following talks with manager Arne Slot, according to several British media reports. Both the BBC and Sky said the decision was made with Slot, who had made it clear he would have the final say on whether to recall Salah, wanting to act in the best interest of the club. Salah accused Liverpool of throwing him under the bus after he was left on the bench for last week's 3-3 draw at Leeds, the third match in a row that he did not start. Salah, who signed a new 2-year contract at Liverpool in April, is due to join the Egypt squad for the Africa Cup of Nations after Saturday's Brighton game at Anfield. Salah has won 2 Premier League titles and 1 Champions League triumph during his spell at Merseyside. Liverpool are 10th in the table after a shocking run, with just 2 wins in their past 10 Premier League games. Lando Norris laid hands on the Formula One Winners' Trophy in Tashkent at the FIA Awards on Friday as outgoing champion Max Verstappen, who did not attend the prize-giving gala due to sickness, sent a congratulatory message to the Britain and McLaren. Norris clinched the title in the final race in Abu Dhabi last Sunday, beating Red Bull's Verstappen by 2 points in the 24-round season, with McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri third overall. The 26-year-old is the 35th Formula One champion since the first in 1950 and 11th Briton to win the crown.
Congratulations, a thank you to McLaren, the team I've been with for many, many years, on giving both of us an incredible car that at times made our life very easy and beautiful, and we could bring home many wins to, all the way to the end of the season. Of course, Mr. Piastri, the incredible teammate that I've had, who's helped me improve so much over the last few seasons.
4 times champion Verstappen was awarded the F1 Action of the Year in his absence.
I just wanted to say big congratulations, first of all, to our president, Mohammed bin Sulayem, for being re-elected. I'm sure there will be very exciting times ahead of us all together. Again, congratulations. And besides that, of course, I wanted to say big congrats to all the winners out there.
Up next, Poinsettia blooms as Christmas season starts. Mexico City's main avenue has turned red as the country showcases one of its most internationally recognized contributions to Christmas, the bright native poinsettia flower. Every year, the orange-hued decorations of the Day of the Dead give way to the reddish tones of Christmas, embodied in the flower also known as Flor de Nochebueno, or Christmas Eve flower. According to the Autonomous National University of Mexico, the Euphorbia pulcherrima was used in the pre-Hispanic era for ceremonies and to embellish gardens. During the colonial era, Franciscan friars used the colorful, showy plant not only to decorate altars and nativity scenes, but also to evangelize indigenous populations, according to the U.S. Library of Congress. But it was in the 19th century that the flower became known outside Mexico when the first U.S. ambassador to Mexico, Joel R. Poinsett, sent samples to Philadelphia. In Mexico, poinsettias can be seen in homes, businesses, and public areas during the holiday season. Millions are expected to be sold this Christmas season, particularly in Xochimilco in Mexico City South, which serves as the hub for locals to buy their festive poinsettias. French independent video game Clair Obscur Expedition 33 swept the board at the Game Awards on Thursday. Not only did it win the coveted Game of the Year award, it also won Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score in Music, Best Performance, Best Independent Game, Best Debut Indie Game, and Best RPG.
I think all the team is very much in denial still. It was a small project, like we had quite a limited team, and the fact that it blew up so much and that it resonated so much with players is like well above all our expectations.
Since its release in April, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has taken the world by storm, selling millions of copies, garnering rave reviews, and winning top awards. The game is the brainchild of Guillaume Brochet, who left video game giant Ubisoft in 2020 to set up Sandfall Interactive to create Clair Obscur. Fans who have been waiting to see more of Clair Obscur have also been rewarded.
Right now we are still working on a little update for the game that we will release very, very soon. And we are also starting production on the next game because we want to make another one. And it's going to be cool, it's going to be fun, but the content of the next game remains to be announced. A bit too early to say, but we have some cool ideas.
Brochet is currently working on a new Clair Obscur game, but details remain scarce except the title. Time magazine named the artifacts of artificial intelligence, or AI, its Person of the Year on Thursday, citing their ability to deliver the age of thinking machines with transformative technology. The 2025 Person of the Year issue features a cover story that explores how AI changed the world over the year in new ways. It includes interviews with NVIDIA Chief Executive Jensen Huang, whose chips are powering the AI boom, and AI investors such as SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son.
We're excited. It is, we've been doing Person of the Year for 99 years, so it turns 100 next year. It is amazing to see that something with that longevity has such staying power, that people care about it, they argue about it, we argue about it internally for months, and then the world stops and they have a feeling. Either it makes sense to them, it doesn't, but I think it's a really useful way to think about it.
And that concludes today's edition of World Today. In our top story, Malaysia to hold a special ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting soon. Till then, my name is Jao Baptist. Salam Malaysia Madani. 'Tis the season to be jolly, folks. What with the holidays right around the corner. Until then, I trust you're all enjoying the best of the weekend. Thank you for watching. Good day, Malaysia.